The 12th Man Podcast. Let's talk sports with Coach Dub. The 12th Man Podcast. Good morning, gentlemen. It's Coach Dub coming to you live from College Station, Texas, with your 12th Man Podcast. This episode of your 12th Man Podcast is brought to you proudly by the Dixie Chicken. The town and university have changed, but the chicken has remained timeless. Generations of Aggies have walked through the same swinging doors for a great burger or a cold beer, an Aggie tradition since 1974. This episode of your 12th Man Podcast, we're going to talk about offensive and defensive standouts on the season for each conference that I'm going to name, and overall, number one offensive player currently in the mid-season point, and number one defensive player. You have to bear with me. Old Big Mike got in here and some Oklahoma red crayon wrote all over my notes. We'll try to look past that, and we'll try to make this work. So we're going to start in the ACC. Your top three offensive players for the midseason point. It's going to be Tennessee quarterback Joey Aguilar, 104 of 167 for 62%. He's passed for 1,245 passing yards, 8 passing touchdowns. He's thrown 4 interceptions, and he's averaging 249 passing yards a game. Next up is Miami quarterback Carson Beck. He's 119 of 172 for 69%. He's thrown for 1,689 passing yards, 15 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and he is averaging 281.5 yards a game. And now you got Clemson quarterback coming in at number 3, Cade Klubnik. 114 of 160 for 71%. He's thrown for 1,408 passing yards, 7 passing touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and he's averaging 234.7 passing yards a game. And your ACC top offensive player for the midseason is going to be Miami quarterback Carson Beck. And now for your ACC defensive top three, that's going to be Miami quarterback O.J. Frederick Jr. He had 35 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and added 4 interceptions. Number 2, Georgia Tech strong safety Christian Pritchett. 41 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, half a sack, and 1 interception. And number 3, Miami defensive end Reuben Bain Jr. He had 24 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, and 7 sacks. And your number 1 ACC defensive player at the midway point is going to be Miami cornerback O.J. Frederick Jr. Now we're going to jump over to the Big Ten. Your top 3 offensive players. Nebraska quarterback Dylan Raiola. 136 of 193 for 70%. He's thrown for 1,643 passing yards, 21 passing touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions, and he's averaging 273.8 yards a game. Number 2 on the list, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza. He's 133 of 201 for 66%. He's got 1,606 passing yards, 10 passing touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and he's averaging 267.7 yards a game. Next on the list, we got Notre Dame quarterback C.J. Carr. 113 of 174 for 64%. He's thrown for 1,344 yards, 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and he's averaging 224 yards a game. And folks, he is only a freshman, so don't count him out. But your number 1 offensive player in the Big Ten is going to be Nebraska quarterback Dylan Raiola. And now for your defensive top 3. Notre Dame linebacker Jalen Sneed. 56 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. Michigan linebacker Jay Sean Barnum. 61 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, and he also has 1 sack. And Michigan defensive tackle Ray Sean Binney. 28 tackles, 18 tackles for loss, and 8 sacks. And your number 1 Big Ten defensive player is going to be Michigan defensive tackle Ray Sean Binney. Now let's hop over to the SEC. Your offensive top 3 is going to be LSU quarterback Garrett Nussmeier. 109 of 220 for 62%. He's thrown for 2,336 passing yards, 17 passing touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and he's averaging 333.7 passing yards a game. Next up, we got Florida quarterback DJ Lagway. He's 84 of 131 for 64%. He's thrown for 2,158 passing yards, 17 passing touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and he's averaging 237.6 passing yards a game. He's also added 74 carries for 556 rushing yards and 10 rushing touchdowns. And lastly, for offensive players, you got Texas quarterback Arch Manning. He's 138 of 184 for 75%. He's thrown for 1,948 passing yards, 22 passing touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and he is averaging 199 passing yards a game. And your number one SEC offensive player is going to be Florida quarterback DJ Lagway. And I got some honorable mention for the SEC. Oklahoma running back Jaden Ott, 89 carries, 643 yards, 6 rushing touchdowns, averaging 7.2 yards a carry, and averaging 107.2 rushing yards a game. I believe he is the only user that has a running back averaging over 100 yards a game. If I'm wrong, let me know. Now for your SEC defensive top 3, Oklahoma defensive end, A.D. Poju, A.D. Bawari, 21 tackles, 13 tackles for loss, 9.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. Next on the list, we have LSU defensive end, Patrick Payton, 31 tackles, 17 tackles for loss, 9 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. And the next one on the list is going to be LSU free safety A.J. Halsey. He had 46 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 4 interceptions. And your number one defensive player in the SEC is going to be LSU defensive end, Patrick Payton. Now we hop over to the Pac-12. Top 3 offensive players. Arizona State quarterback Sam Leavitt, 101 of 167 for 60%. He's thrown for 1,769 passing yards, 14 passing touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and he's averaging 353.8 yards a game. Next on the list, we got SMU quarterback Kevin Jennings. He's 129 and 173 for 74%. He's thrown for 1,995 passing yards, 17 passing touchdowns, and 4 interceptions, and he's averaging 399 passing yards a game. Next up, we got Oregon quarterback Dante Moore, 94 of 155 for 60%. He's thrown for 2,013 passing yards, 24 passing touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and he's passed for 335.5 yards a game. And your top offensive player in the Pac-12 is going to be SMU quarterback Kevin Jennings. Now for your Pac-12 defensive top 3, that's going to be Colorado cornerback D.J. McKinney. He's at 37 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 3 interceptions, 2 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 defensive touchdown. Next on the list, you have USC linebacker Desmond Stevens II. He's got 46 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, and 1.5 sacks. And following up the end of the list is going to be Arizona State defensive tackle Zach Swanson. 19 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, and 7.5 sacks. And your number one defensive player for the Pac-12 is going to be Colorado Buffs cornerback D.J. McKinney. Now we're going to jump over to the Big 12. Your offensive top 3 for the Big 12, starting with Texas A&M wide receiver Terry Bussey, 42 receptions, 655 receiving yards, averaging 15.6 yards a catch, averaging 109.2 receiving yards a game, and he also has 7 receiving touchdowns. Next on the list, you got Ole Miss quarterback Austin Simmons. He's 146 of 228 for 64%. He's got 1,891 passing yards, 15 passing touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and he's averaging 15.2 passing yards a game. He also has 26 carries for 21 rushing yards and 1 rushing touchdown. Lastly on the list for your offensive players in the Big 12, Texas A&M quarterback Marcel Zone Reed. He's 160 of 193 for 82%. He's thrown for 2,279 passing yards, 24 passing touchdowns with only 3 interceptions. He's averaging 379.8 passing yards a game, and he also has 16 carries for 14 rushing yards with 6 rushing touchdowns. And your number one Big 12 offensive player is going to be Texas A&M quarterback Marcel Zone Reed. And now for your defensive top three. Texas A&M defensive tackle Trey Hall. He's got 18 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, and 7.5 sacks. Next on the list, Ole Miss linebacker Suntarine Perkins. 32 tackles, 14 tackles for loss, 6.5 sacks. And last on the list, Texas A&M linebacker Torian York. He's got 52 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. And your number one defensive player in the Big 12 is going to be Ole Miss Rebels linebacker Suntarine Perkins. And now I'm going to jump down and give you my overall number one offensive player, my number one overall defensive player. Starting with the number one overall defensive player, that's going to the Colorado Buffaloes cornerback, DJ McKinney. Great job, Colorado. And the number one offensive player, not because I'm biased, Texas A&M quarterback Marcel Zone Reed. He's got more passing touchdowns and touchdowns total than anybody else on the list. And I have to throw this one in there. I'm throwing in there the number one running back for the league currently is Oklahoma's Jaden Ott. All right, folks, that's all I got for you today. That's your offensive and defensive top players this midway point in the season. Hope y'all have enjoyed this. I'll try to do a Heisman update soon. This is Coach Dub signing off.